Hi, I'm Chef Gail Sokol and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making a delicious honey cake. It is dark and sweet but has a little piquant flavor from the spices and zest from orange and lemon. It's just delicious, and we're going to decorate the top with some almonds, and it's so good, not just as it's not really a fancy dessert, let's face it, but when you slice it up and you slather on either a little butter or cream cheese, you can forget that bagel. This is your morning jam for your breakfast. It's awesome and it's delicious, and it really isn't bad for you. All right, but before we get started, I'd like you to click that notification button. I'd like you to become a subscriber, and I'd like you not to miss any of my videos and tips. Please, I like having you in my kitchen, and I like baking with you. All right, honey cake. So I have preheated my oven to a very low temperature of 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And there's a method to my madness for this. This is low and slow, and it actually makes an incredible crumb. Very fine, very, very tender. A lot of honey cakes can be very tough, and a lot of breads, quick breads like date nut bread or banana bread, sometimes they're a little firmer than others. It depends on the recipe. This honey cake is very sort of soft and yummy, and it is so good. Trust me on this. All right, so we're going to have 2 bowls. This is going to be sort of like the 2-bowl method. 2-bowl method. So right now we're going to start with our dry ingredients, and we're going to whisk them together. I have 1½ cups of all-purpose flour. I have half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda needs an acid to react, and guess what? I don't know if you knew this, but honey is acidic. So it's going to help the baking soda undergo a neutralization reaction so that it will create carbon dioxide gas bubbles to help our loaf honey cake rise. And the same with brown sugar. We have a little brown sugar in here that's also acidic. So a lot of fun things in here that are acidic. So I'm whisking these up. Now that they're whisked up, I'm going to set it aside. We don't need it right now. Now, in my next bowl, my big bowl, this is my big bowl, I have, oh, you know what I forgot? Wait. Hold the honey cake. I forgot my spices. So I have 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, ground cinnamon. I have 1/4 teaspoon of ground allspice. And I have 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves because I love them. I love them. I do not want to forget you. You are not forgotten, spices, I promise. I love you. And that's what really, really helps make that honey cake fragrant. You know, I've seen a lot of honey cake recipes that don't have any spices in them. What are they thinking? You need these beautiful spices for these honey cakes. Delicious. All right, now I go back to my big bowl. And in my big bowl, I have 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar. It could be dark brown sugar too, whatever you want. And we're going to whisk that with some eggs. All right, so I'm going to whisk this with 2 eggs, 2 whole large eggs. I always sort of go through the yolk. And then I want you to use your muscles. You remember what those are, right? Biceps and triceps. Go all the way around. Get the sugar off the sides and let the arm rip, okay? Skip your personal trainer today and use this as your exercise. Keep going. You want to see that sugar sort of dissolve a little bit. Watch me whip. I have a t-shirt that says that. Very cool. All right, so you see how it sort of gets thicker? That's sort of a cool thing. That's what you want. You're looking for a little bit of thickness, a little bit of viscosity, okay? I sound like a mad scientist today. All right, so once you're done with that, you see how nice? Sort of nice and thick. All right, so now we're going to add 3/4 cup of honey. And I like to use a very high quality honey. Ooh, nice. High quality honey. All right, so we got that in there. And I have 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, just a neutral oil. I would not use olive oil. Canola, coconut oil, anything neutral. All right. I have zest from an orange and zest from 1 lemon. Okay, and you only want the colorful peel. You don't want the white pith. It can make the honey cake very bitter, and that we don't want. Okay, and now, this is the secret to all honey cakes that are worth eating. A little brewed coffee. Really, I'm telling you, this is the secret. 3/4 cup of dark brewed coffee. Cooled, because we don't want to cook our eggs before they should be cooked. Never cook an egg before it's time. And we want to gently mix this up. So in a way, this is a 2-bowl method. Okay, this is a quick bread, honey cake, like a banana bread, like any loaf cake. All right, so I'm whisking that. It's very loose right now. Get that all in there. Make sure that your zest is really broken up so that's all blended in with all your ingredients. And I can see them floating around there, so they're good. Now I'm going to get rid of my whisk. All right. And I'm going to take my dry ingredients and I'm going to put them in. And I'm going to actually use a rubber spatula to get that in. Okay. And I have sprayed a 9 by 5 by 3 inch loaf pan. Okay. And this is it. I just want to show you. I've sprayed it. You don't have to flour it, just spray it. And you want to mix all this up. The less mixing you do, the better. With a quick bread especially. Sometimes you have to whirl it around a little bit. This is a pretty thin batter. This particular honey cake is a thin batter. Some are not. And I'm actually going to go back to my whisk for a second. Because it is so thin, some of the dry ingredients. If this happens, just do this. Just go for it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go back with my whisk and just sort of whisk it around. You don't want to really, go with it and whip it like I did before with just the eggs and the sugar, but you just want to go around. Just a light whip, okay? That's it, that's good enough. Oh, I can smell the spices and I can also smell the zest. That is a nice, delicious fragrance. Yum. I could wear that as a perfume. So delicious. All right, so now I'm going to put this on top of here. And this is a big bowl, folks. Oh, boy. Put it all the way in. And this should go up probably about 2/3 the way up, a little more than half. If it goes up more than half, like way more than 3/4 in your particular loaf pan, take some out. And make like a cupcake or something, because that means your loaf pan may be a little too small. Make sure you measure your pan, your loaf pan. Some pans are not equal. Sometimes you can say, oh, I bought a 9 by 5 by 3, and it really isn't. So make sure you do that. So I have my beautiful batter. And now I'm just going to take, these are blanched almonds. All right, I'm just going to, you can just scatter them on top. I like making some flowers. And I hope you can see this. I'll bring it over to you so you can. And you can make like little 3-petal flowers, or you can make a pattern. You can make your name. You can make whatever you want. Remember, my oven has been preheating to 300. This is going to bake because it's a thinner batter. Usually the thinner the batter, the longer it bakes. This is about an hour and a half. Yeah, did I say that? I said an hour and a half. So don't open the oven. Do not resist the urge. About an hour and a half. And then you want to check with a small sharp knife, and the center should come out clean. And then it should come right out after letting it cool for about 15-20 minutes. Slide that baby out and get that cream cheese ready, because this is going to be an amazing. You can give it also as a nice holiday gift. They're very nice to give. People love a honey cake. Before I got married to my husband, I would always make him a honey cake. And he always showed it to his mother. Sort of showing off a little, you know what I mean? I did. Sort of telling them, the old MIL, the mother-in-law, that, hey, I'm pretty good. So, no competition or anything. But she loved it. She loved my honey cake. Half the time my husband ate it before he got to her. So what are you going to do? All right, so I have scattered a few more almonds here and there just to make it a little bit almondy on top. Again, you don't even have to do flowers. You can just scatter them any way you want. But it's always fun to have a little bit of a pattern. All right, 1.5 hours. All right, 1.5 hours. I want you to see that, 1.5 hours at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, I'll see you back. Look at my honey cake. It's out of the oven. And you know what? I checked it after about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Remember I said an hour and a half? So mine came out an hour and about 22 minutes. It depends on your oven. If it runs hot, check after about an hour and 20. And it should push right back. It should be firm, but it should be a little bit soft. When you put your finger down and push down, it should pop right back up. All right, you ready for the big reveal? I'm going to cut it right down the center. Again, get your cream cheese ready, folks. Get your cream cheese ready. Now I'll just show you. See how lovely? It's a lovely crumb. Spicy. I smell the coffee. I smell all the beautiful spices in here. I'm going to get a nice big slice. It's still a little warm. And you can see how lovely that is. Look at that. It's beautiful. And it just breaks apart beautifully. It's lovely. It's lovely. Please make this honey cake. Please smear cream cheese on it for me. And I hope you become a subscriber. Till next time.